Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia. It is officially the end of 2022. Happy New Year. I wish you all success, good health, wealth, all of the above. Now, you may notice if you're familiar with my channel, my voice is a little crackly. I'm getting over a cold, but I promise you I sound worse than I feel. I wanted to share my plant wish list for 2023, the plants that I'm hoping that I can purchase and add to my home collection. Right now, I have about, I think 23 to 25 plants. As you grow your collection and you become more familiar with the plants and their needs, it's actually not as bad as it sounds to take care of so many plants. But let's get on with my wish list for 2023. The first plant I have on my wish list, actually the first two, I'm gonna lump them into one, is in the alocasia family. Now, I've had many alocasias in my home. I've had an alocasia zebrina. I've had an alocasia, oh gosh, what is the name? I forgot the name of it, but I'll insert the name here. I've also had another alocasia, I can't remember the name, and alocasias just don't seem to last. Now, I would say the zebrina did last the longest, and that actually happens to be my first plant wish list item, is the alocasia zebrina. Alocasia zebrina is an absolutely stunning plant, and I'm going to insert a photo of the plant that I used to own. The stem is the reason why it has this name. It is such a stunning, eye-catching plant. When I had that plant, it was the first thing that people would ask about. When I shared it here with you guys were in awe, and so was I. And I randomly found that plant at the supermarket. One day I was going to, buy some groceries, saw the plant, actually left the store, and then went back and purchased the plant. But as you guys know, with alocasias, they tend to drop leaves like there's no tomorrow. So my plant dropped each of the leaves. It grew quite a few leaves, but it also dropped a number of leaves, and it just got to the point where it was just a stump, just a nub. And I held on to that little stump for a little while, but then after a while I just got rid of it altogether because I got tired of watering dirt, to be honest. So despite all of my issues with alocasias and my even saying that I would never own another alocasia, I want another zebrina. It is just so beautiful not to pass up. Also in the alocasia family, I've been looking at the alocasia black velvet for some time. I've only seen it once at Williams Nursery, which actually happens to be closed down right now. So it's not a plant that I see in person often, but that's a plant that I would prefer to purchase it on site versus ordering online. That is such a beautiful plant. The dark velvety leaves. It's unlike any other plant that I have currently in my collection, and I know just adding it to the mix, it'll be a showstopper. It'll really and truly stand out because of the color of that leaf. So I'm hoping to add the alocasia black velvet to my collection. I feel like I'm going to be torturing myself once again with these alocasias, but you can't help it. Like, the beauty in plants is, just admiring their beauty, watching them grow, knowing that you contributed to the growth. So we'll see. The next plant on my wish list is the bird of paradise. Now, I've said in many of my videos, I'm a simple plant girl. I love easy to care for plants, and in my opinion, the bird of paradise is a pretty easy to care for plant. I've owned a total of 3 bird of paradise plants. So all 3 of the bird of paradise plants I've had cases of spider mites. The first one, I bought it as a pretty short plant, and it actually grew taller than me, so it really pained my heart to get rid of that plant. No matter what I did to save that plant, they just kept coming back. I chopped off the leaves and tried to regrow the leaves, and they did, but the spider mites came back. I changed out the soil. I even rinsed off the roots. They came back. So I don't know where it was originating from, but it just kept coming back, and I was afraid that it would contaminate my other plants, so had to get rid of it. The second and third BOP plants that I purchased, I actually purchased them around the same time. One of them I got from Sam's Club, the other one I got from IKEA, and almost instantly I noticed, I believe it was the one from Sam's Club at first, that one, again, spider mites. So I separated the 2 plants. I even put that one outside because, again, as soon as you see a pest problem, you want to immediately move it from your other plants. So I took that one outside, and then I noticed that the one from IKEA also had spider mites. I forgot to mention my plant as I'm sitting here editing. The bird of paradise plant that I had, this one also had aphids, as you can see. It had quite a few aphids, and this is really what did it. This is what sealed the deal and made me get rid of this plant. So I did the same thing with those that I did with the first one. I used pesticide, I used neem oil, I wiped off the leaves, I changed out the soil, I sprayed down the roots. They just kept coming back, and they came back with a vengeance too. It was a lot. So unfortunately, I had to get rid of both of those as well. But despite that, I still want another bird of paradise. Now, I don't mind starting with a pretty small or medium-sized plant because they do grow. To me, they grow pretty quickly in the growing season. So I don't mind starting with a small one and watching it grow, but I absolutely want to get a bird of paradise for next year, 2023. The next thing on my wish list is the philodendron pink princess. Now, I've seen this plant at both big box stores and garden centers, and it always stops me in my tracks. The beautiful pink variegation in the leaves, the beautiful dark burgundy stems. It is such a gorgeous plant. And again, it's a plant that would certainly stand out amongst my collection because right now, each of my plants, I'm over here looking at it now, they're obviously all green. I have my neon pothos, which of course stands out. My Chinese evergreen silver bay, which of course stands out. My calathea ornata stands out. But I feel like that philodendron pink princess, oh my gosh, that would be a showstopper. Same thing with the alocasia black velvet. So I feel like that one, out of all of the ones that I'm naming, other than the bird of paradise of course, I feel like that one I would be able to find locally. So that's probably going to be one of the first plants I get. That one and the bird of paradise. The last plant on my wish list for 2023 is the Hoya publicalis. I'm always jacking up the name of that plant, but it is a beautiful plant. Now, I love Hoyas. I currently have 4 Hoya plants in my collection. I have the Hoya carrii or the Hoya heart. I also have 2 Hoya carnosa compactas, or what is it also called? The Hindu rope, beautiful plant, the rope plant. And then the 4th Hoya I have a Hoya crimson queen. So I would love to add the pubicalyx to my collection. For me, Hoya plants, again, I'm an easy plant girl. I like any plant that's easy to care for, that doesn't require me hovering over it. That's why I don't mind adding those alocasias, because if those are the only 2 plants that would really need that additional attention and focus, I feel like I'll be able to give it to it. But to me, Hoyas in general are pretty easy to care for. They're hardy plants, they're easy to clean, with the exception of the Hoya carnosa compacta. That one is a little bit, takes a little bit more to make sure the leaves are clean in that one. I'll leave a video in my description below on how I care for that plant. Even though my preference is to purchase my plants in person versus ordering them online, I have a feeling that one I may potentially have to get online, which is totally fine. That is my short list of plants that I'd like to add to my collection in 2023. Let me know which plants you guys are planning on adding to your collection in the new year, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.